Hey everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, just want to let you know that I am not your financial advisor and we never provide investment advice on the channel. So with that said, if you're new, thanks for joining us. Make sure to go back to day one video, the first day of the video series here in regards to Dexscreener, just so you can kind of get those introductions and the flow of how things are going to go out the way. And if you've been with us for a while or you joined us somewhere along the way, we certainly thank you for doing that. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into some review, and then we'll go straight into discovery. So we got Archie AI. So I think at some point, we talked about this. I certainly set an alert, on this one. So I wanted to go ahead and bring this one up, to you. I did have some screenshots. I didn't bring them up. So let me pause the video real quick. I'll go ahead and I'll get those screenshots up for you so you can see why I'm talking about these in the review. All right, got the screenshot up, and so here we go. This is the reason why I'm bringing it up to you. We can see here in this screenshot, it's sitting at 743K, but we can also see that the wick here is around, just shy of 900K. So if we go back over here, we're going to take a look at the alert. We can see the alert, was created 21 days ago, and when I set this alert, it was an under alert, but again, created 21 days ago. And this did trigger under 200,000. And as you can see, like I said here in the screenshot, this touched just under 900K, so pretty good gains, on this one. This again highlights, what we're trying to go ahead and do on the channel, which is to highlight that we can go ahead and, through our process, of utilizing Dexscreener, the filters, we can spot some stuff early. We can set some alerts, and guess what? I mean, as we know, going through this series, some of them, do well, some of them just wet the bed. Okay, so it's not a process where everything you're going to come across is going to go ahead and make gains that they're going to go ahead and pump 2x, or 10x or more. Not everything's going to go ahead and do that, but again, the whole idea here is we want to filter through, all the massive data, that Dexscreener has. And we want to go ahead and target stuff within a certain parameter so that we can go ahead and try to, see if we can, spot something that's going to go ahead and move for us, So again, and there have been several examples, of this. We're now on day 31, of this series. Have been several examples throughout the entire series, where we've been able to go ahead and spot stuff before it pumped, so, and this is just another example of that with here in the Archie AI coin. Here with Baby Fork, we talked about this one yesterday. So I think where we spot this one, it was under 200, right? Actually, well under 200. So we spotted this one here at 105K, as you can see here in the posted market cap. And the alert that was set for this one was to go ahead and trigger under 60K. So this one triggered under 60K. So we can see that this was disabled, which means that, when the alert's alive, it says, oh, what does it say? I don't even remember right now, but we can go ahead and we can reset it, oh, active, that's what it says. When you're sitting here recording videos, you don't always, thoughts don't always come clearly, but either way, with that being said, when the alerts are active, this is what they're indicating, this is the verbiage here. And then, once they trigger, it goes to disabled. Okay. So if you're watching this one, because I know some of you guys go ahead and copy the same alerts that I set, then this one triggered under 60K. And obviously, made some tremendous gains. When we see, here in this screenshot, we can see that we are over 500K, on this one. So, I mean, pretty good gains, for anybody that decided to go ahead and follow the alert on this one. And as you guys know, I mean, we never encourage you to go ahead and to invest, on this channel, but obviously you're engaging with crypto. So we know this is an interest of yours and that you're probably going to do it anyway. But as I've said many times throughout the series, the disclaimer still has to be made. But with that being said, like I said, to see this one, we saw it at 105K. The alert was set, to trigger under 60K. And I think it was based on where it was at, in terms of the candle. I'm not going to go back to the video right now to see exactly, what the chart looked like at the time that the alert was set. But more than likely, it was probably sitting, at some kind of peak, because typically my pattern of behavior is if I see a chart that's sitting at a high, the only alert that I'm going to set is going to be an under. I'm not going to go ahead and set an over and an under. When it's at a peak, you guys that have been watching and following me for any amount of time in the series knows that if I see a peak, it's going to be an under alert, and that's the only alert that I'm going to go ahead and set. So with that being said, again, another good example here, of what we're trying to go ahead and do, what we're trying to achieve, through this series, which is to spot stuff early before it pumps. And this is yet another example among several examples that have been, realized throughout the first 30 days of this series. So we're going to go ahead and close out these tabs, and we're going to go straight into discovery. We're going to go ahead and clear out, some of this information you guys know that I don't really care for. So we're going to get rid of price, transaction volume, makers. We're going to keep all the time frames, get rid of liquidity, and apply. And, for anybody that's new, if I'm moving along pretty quickly, just understand that you have the benefit of the video, so just go back and review it again as much as you need to, just so you can kind of keep up with me. There'll be times where I speak, faster and times where I don't. But we're going to go into our filters now. We're going to focus on 3 chains, Solana, Ethereum, and Base. No need to go ahead and select any DEX because the chain, when multiple chains are selected, it doesn't give you the option to select the DEX. Liquidity stays the same. Market cap, we're going to go to 50,000, because again, many times you guys have heard me say, if it can't touch 50K, then I probably don't want to mess with it anyway. All right, so here we go, 50K to 100K, and pair age, we're going to go 10 hours to 30 hours. Okay, and again, a lot of times when I'm going ahead and setting these, it's just arbitrary stuff. I change it all the time. So yeah, 24 hour, we're going to go with a 10% minimum value on that. And here we go. It doesn't give us a lot, so what we're going to do, we're going to go back in the filters, and we're going to go ahead and move our market cap out. Let's move it out to 300K. And typically on the market cap, we don't go any further out than 500K, just because, again, the 500K to me, especially if a token has the potential to move into 20, 30, 40 million, 500K is still really early, in my personal opinion. I'm going to go ahead and take on the 24 hour here. We want to go ahead and sort by the tokens that have the largest gains, within that window. And now what we can see is we've got 40 tokens. Okay, some of these are scams. We know that because, just about in every video, I go ahead and I highlight the fact that any of these that you see right here where my cursor is, where you got the box, with the question mark, and anybody that's been watching this series for any amount of time knows this, that more than likely every time we open these up, they're typically scams. Either they're missing socials, they're freezable tokens, something, highlights it as a scam. And here we can see it's been open for a day, and we can see what the chart looks like on the 15-minute. No token that's been, going for a day is going to look like this. And you're typically going to have socials, so this is a scam. Here, this one, excessive taxes, anything over 80, it's greater than 80% of the taxes. This just easily highlights that this is a honeypot. All right, so this is a scam, as well. And then this one right here, no socials. It's been alive for over 15 hours, and this is what your chart looks like. You could hardly see any sells on this one. On the what was it? What was on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour? Either way, I was on the 4 hour, but either way, we can see some sells here, but you don't get any socials. It's sitting at 53K. You always want to go after, you always want to look at tokens that have some socials. But, here, even though the chart doesn't look terrible, and I'll give it that, it doesn't look bad, it doesn't look like it'd be a scam, but again, err on the safe side. This is not a token. You always want to target tokens that do have socials. And yeah, you might have an exception here, where, or an outlier, that maybe it doesn't have, the socials, but it's not a scam. However, with the prevalence of scams that take place in crypto, you do not want to go ahead and chance it, with your hard, earned money. Okay, so leave these kind of tokens alone. Now we're going to go ahead and open up the rest of some of these, here, just to see what we got going on. We're going to leave that giant rocket ketamine. We'll leave that one. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure what that is. Snowden. Okay, we'll do that one. Alexander the Great. Sure. Okay, animals instead. I looked at this one yesterday. I don't know what that is. Grog. Okay, we'll keep that one. And Dougie. Let's see here. And there's a lot going on with the AI 6 tokens. A lot going on. You're seeing a lot of those language model tokens going on right now. So just be aware that that seems to be like the current meta right now. But now that we've got several of these tabs open, what we're going to do is, as I've said before, quick scans in regards to the chart. I think we'll go to the 15-minute on this one, and making sure that you've got it minimum, at least a Telegram, so this one will keep open. This one, the chart doesn't look, awful, but here's what I can see right away. There's nothing going on here in the 5-minute, and there's minus on the 1 hour, which likely means you don't really have any buying going on in this one, so we're going to leave this one alone as well. Okay, and we can see here, we're going to go to the 15 minutes. Chart doesn't look too bad. We got a Telegram. We'll keep it. This one's definitely bottomed out on Young Peasy, so this one's going to be a no. Here, we're going to go to the 15-minute just to see more of what we got going on here, the chart. We got a Telegram, and the chart doesn't look terrible, so we'll keep it. This one looks a little odd to me on the Snowden token here, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one. You kind of know, what your healthier charts look like, and when you've taken a look at charts as often as I have, there are just some charts when you see right away that you just know that it's probably not one you want to waste your time on. So we're going to go to the 15-minute here on this one, and this one looks okay, so we'll keep it. This one here, no Telegram right away. Again, quick scans, I can see right away there's no Telegram, so we're not interested in this one. Grog, we got a Telegram, but the chart, I'm guessing, yeah, it looks kind of bottomed out, and I don't see the start of an uptrend here because, again, when you look here, you got lower lows, and that just seems to be the pattern, starting from here, okay? So this one we're not going to worry about either. This one, what did I do? Did I open up Grog twice? Okay, so this one's a no. And here, really, really not feeling this one at all. I don't like the pattern here. This ascension, and then we get this, deep, deep, deep sell-off, and then it comes back. I think this is probably going to go ahead and probably sell off again. You have no buying activity here on the 5-minute and very little going on here on the 1 hour. So make sure to use this area, when you're in your scanning, because it will help you in terms of making some kind of determination whether you actually want to follow through moving into the channel to investigate. All right, so we're going to close that one out as well, leaving us with 4 tokens. Let's see if we can pick up any more, in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter again. And tell you what we'll do, we'll go to a 5 to a 25-hour window, and let's see what we get. Okay, and that's the benefit, guys. You can go back in, you can adjust those filters, so that you can see what else you get, if you don't like what you got the first time around. Okay, so let's see here. We'll look at this one, large language model. This is one. This name did really well yesterday, so I'm doubtful that you can go ahead and have a duplicate of that and actually see the same kind of movement. So I'm not going to worry about that one. Some of these actually kind of look like they're the same, so that might have been my fault because I went to a 25-hour window. So we'll just do a 5 to 10-hour window. Let's see what we get here. Okay, let's see. This is interesting. Let's do this one. And for some reason, I've seen a lot of like large obesity, fat tokens, also showing up today. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but it seems like maybe that's also another meta going on right now. So we'll take a look, at these 3. So this one, I don't really care for the charts, and I think I saw this one. Did I see this one earlier? Maybe not. Okay, but either way, I don't like it. And this one, let's see, we're going to go to the actually 1 minute and 5-minute. The chart doesn't look horrible. We do have a Telegram, so I'll keep it. And this one here, virtual generation, not crazy about this chart, but yeah, I don't like it. So, okay, so we've got, it looks like 5 tokens to go ahead and take a look at. And I didn't plan for today's video to be too long just because I've got stuff that I have to go ahead and jump into right after I finish the video. So, yeah, I got an obligation I've got to get to, but I still wanted to go ahead and get you guys some content today, so we'll go ahead and we'll get through these tokens, and then we'll go ahead and probably call it a day, on this video, depending on the length of it. I may go ahead and select, not do something else with the filters, but we'll see. Either way, let's go ahead and start checking out some channels. So here we go. All right, so here we go. Going into the portal. All right, so we got Ski Mask APU. All right, or APU. All right, so we got a buy coming in right now. It's just after 1 o'clock, for me on my end. So let's see here. They got major buy bot going on, trying to go ahead and get trending if they don't already have it, but I don't see that. listing done on these platforms. Okay, so they're trying to go ahead and work on exposure for the token. These are platforms they didn't necessarily have to go ahead and pay for, so utilizing, free platforms to try to go ahead and get more exposure, for their token, which is good to see. So they're just indicating, where they've been listed. All right, so all those things are good to see, but I don't see any evidence of rating on this, but we're still getting some activity, so we'll go back over here. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And what I would do on this one, particularly, at least for me, I'd go ahead and I'd set an under alert, just to go ahead and see if this retraces, a bit more. So right now we're sitting at 109K, and so we'll set the alert here. And go straight to market cap, goes under, and 109K is going to be our posted market cap. And we're going to go ahead and set this at 75K. All right, see if it triggers that. All right, and then we're going to close this out. So in this one, Pengus, okay, so we can see that we had another buy just come in. So, I mean, clearly they've got some buying activity on this one. So let's see what's going on in the channel. All right, so we get a portal here. Great. All right, so here we go. And again, that buy just came in at 105. Okay, so major buy bot is here in this one as well. Spotlight on trending. Okay, so they're trying to go ahead and get votes, so they're trying to engage the community to get votes, so they can get free trending essentially. All right, and then we got something going on, with their X account. Okay, and here this is forwarded, from this guy's channel. So obviously he went ahead and showed this to his community. Okay, and here another one, from the sector leaderboard bot, so somebody made a call on this one, and there were some X's that were made, for anybody that decided to follow that call. All right, they paid, for a boost, here on Dex Tools, which is positive, so it looks like they're trying to go ahead and do some things. We're still getting additional buys coming in because we can see we had 4 messages, since we've been in the channel. All right, so that's good to see. Okay, so we're going to close this out, and again, we're still getting buys. This is at 127 because we can see that here up in the tab, 127. So here's what I'm going to do. Again, this is more of a peak for me, so I'd want to go ahead and set an under on this one. That's just kind of how I roll. All right, so under, and we're going to set this at 127K. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this at 90K, as far as, when I want to see this trigger. So there we go. And then Lumetra AI, this is an AI themed token. More than likely on this one, I'd probably be more interested in setting an under, than an over. But I think I'd also, I would probably set 2 alerts on this one, just because we're not at a peak, but we're still in the middle of the peak, that took place here. All right, so as long as everything checks out in the channel, I think that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Okay, so here we go, and let's see what's going on here. So we got a buy at 107. Okay, that's what I got on my clock. So buys are still coming in, which is positive to see. Okay, they got major buy bot in here. So they got trending going on here. Okay, and this looks like, okay, so they got evidence of a raid. I think that's what I saw. Let's go back here, because usually if they got raids, it'll show up right away. At least I thought I saw a raid. I'm almost certain I did. So not a lot going on here in the pinned messages, but like I said, I think I saw a raid. So I'd say for this one, sure, let's go ahead and let's, set 2 alerts, on it. We're sitting at, this says 189K. And if you're new, wondering why I'm paying attention to the tab up here, there's a delay between the tab, and what we see over here informationally in terms of the data that we're getting, so this usually will catch up with this, but there's a bit of delay, so if I can match it up, with the tab, then I do. And you can see what I mean, 189 now, 189. So, all right, so on the alerts, so we're going to go straight to market cap and under, and we're going to set 189K. All right, so we're going to copy that. And for the under, let's go ahead and let's set this at 150K. I know it's a bit of a, it's a 40,000, deviation, but I think there's a possibility that it could trigger that, so. All right, and then for the over, let's go ahead and let's paste that posted market cap in. And for the over, we're sitting at 189. Now it's at 191. It's not going to be a big deviation, so we're going to go ahead and set this at 205K. Okay. So again, these alerts are just indicators. Again, if you're new, and the reason why I continue to reiterate that kind of stuff, especially if you're somebody that's been following, us for a while, we never know when somebody new is going to come into this series. And because there are so many different videos in the series, there are things I just have to repeat because you don't know who's coming into the series at that time. So, so either way, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and close this one out. And this one, Alexander the Great. I think for this one, the only alert I'd set is going to be an under, just because of where the candle's at here. So as long as everything checks out, that's what we'll do. All right, and I don't necessarily care, for these kind of, Telegram chats, they've got it, basically kind of like Discord style, but that's the way this one is. So you actually have to click over to general to be able to see what's going on in the general channel. And then you've got, a couple other things you can, engage with over here, but we're not going to do that here in the video. So their top 9 on DEX pairs. Let's see here. This is their buy bot. So the last buy came in at 108. So that's obviously within my 10-minute, buy window. Here they've got some evidence of rating. So they've got some activity. Everything's here in the green. They were looking for six likes. They got 11, 4 retweets, and 3 replies. So they were able to fill that. Took them 16 minutes. So yeah. They've got some activity here. I don't know. Not a lot going on here in the pinned messages area though. So we're gonna go back. We'll close this out, and we'll set the under alert, on this one. And before I do that, you can see all these 1 cent buys, so they do have that, bot going, in terms of creating it's a volume bot essentially, and it creates fake volume, but people like to see volume regardless, and that still brings in some buys. So we're going to set the alert here. We're setting it to 213, and this tab doesn't line up with this, so we got to rely on what's going on here. So goes under, and 213 is going to be our posted market cap. So for this one, especially since I'm not a big fan of volume bots, you can see not a lot of activity here on the 5-minute, not a lot of activity here on the 1 hour. I think this is going to head for some larger amount of retracement. So we're going to set this at 185K, which I know is a pretty decent deviation, but like I said, I am anticipating that we're going to see retracement, okay? And anytime you're sitting at a peak on a candle, you always see retracement anyway. All right, the question is just how much are we going to see? So that's where I'm going to leave it, and we'll see if it triggers. And then for this one, Truth Terminal's language model. Again, the language model seems to be like, a current meta right now. So I saw a lot of it yesterday, still seeing some residuals of it today. So we're going to go ahead and check out what's going on in the channel. I think for this one, for sure, it'll be an under alert if I set any alert at all. So we're going to go ahead and get into the channel. They got over 300 members here. So you see evidence of rating. And they've got some activity going, here. So we can see they were looking for 10 likes, 5 retweets, 4 replies, and no bookmarks actually. So yeah, but either way, we can see the progress here. So this, any rating is to go ahead and engage the community. So they're actually doing a good job of that. Community is engaging with that, and they're actually, trending, as well. So they got the rating, they got the trending. So let's see here. All right, not a lot going on, here in the pinned messages, but they're also going ahead and they're doing trying to engage the community as far as voting to go ahead and get major buy bot, voting as well, or not voting, but trending as well. All right, so those are good things. We see 15 messages here, since we've been in here. And, one of those is obviously the raid, but that doesn't count, so. Okay, so we're going to close this out. And again, I said that the only thing that made sense for me on this one is going to be an under. So we're going to set an under on this one. We're setting at 139. Okay, and 139 is what's showing up here. So, all right, so 139K. All right, and we're going to go ahead and set this at 100. Okay, that'll be our indicator. So we'll see if it triggers, then we can go and reevaluate what's going on in regards to the chart. Okay, so that's going to take care of that. And then let's see. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so with that said, we're going to go ahead and close this one out. And we're going to go back here. We're going to go ahead and reset our filters. We're going to go ahead and set some new filters. So let's go in here. And let's just go ahead and focus on Solana. Let's see what we got going on here. Radium. Okay, so minimum market cap, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to 100K. And then we're going to go out to 500K. And we're going to see if we can pick up some different, types of tokens. So one hour, we're going to go 1 hour to 8 hours. So super new, tokens. Okay. All right. So let's see what we got here. And not a lot, which is good. Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to open this one up. And no, I don't care for that. No. Let's see. Dementia Robot. Sure. Let's open that up. Disaster Girl, sure, let's open that up. Pepe on Solana, sure, let's open that up. And let's open that up. Okay, so we got some stuff to open up. This one looks like it's dead, so we're not going to worry about that one. This one looks like it's okay, so we'll take a look at this one. We also get a Telegram there. This one, we'll keep it, just because we don't have a whole lot to work with here. We'll keep this one as well, and this one looks like it's done. Okay, so we're going to take a look at these three real quick. All right, let's take a look at what's going on in the channel. Okay, so we're going to get into their portal here. All right, just over 180 members. Okay, so we're sitting at 139. The last buy came in at 115. They got raid going on. Let's see what's going on here. Good activity, so they got 12 likes so far. They're looking for 20. They're looking for retweets. They've already filled that. The replies already filled that. The bookmarks, they already got that, so this one still looks like they're getting some decent activity, and the rating's going well, for them too. I don't really see any evidence, of trending though, but that's okay. All right, and they got a news article here too. So yeah, this one, let's go ahead and let's set some alerts here. So this one, let's just go ahead and set the under alert. So we're sitting at what, 138, actually 134. So 134 on this one. So here we go. Market cap goes under, and let's go ahead and let's set this one at 100K. And let's put this in here, and let's see if that one triggers. Okay, so we're going to close this one out. And then here for girl, I'm actually going to go ahead and move out a little bit on this chart just to see what's going on here. Okay, so let's go in the channel. Let's see what's going on with this one. Okay, so, and I think this one was called Disaster Girl. Yeah, okay, so this is a CTO. Okay, and we can see last buy came in just a minute ago. It's sitting at 246K. All right, need everybody on Twitter active. Okay, raids. All right, so let me go back down. I don't see any evidence, of a raid. No evidence of a raid. No evidence of trending. Okay, so I don't really know what they're doing to go ahead and get buys. Do they have a boost going on? Let's check. Okay, so yeah, they've got a boost here, and they're actually paid for ads as well, so that's what they're doing for exposure, but they're not doing rating or trending, so all right, but they are getting some exposure. But I do think this one's going to continue to retrace a bit. So even though they had, the big retracement here, and they had, some pretty good buy activity, and the retracement here, I actually think, even though in spite of this buy candle right here, this is probably going to head back down. So we're going to set an under on this one too. So we're sitting at, it says 249. All right, so that's what we're going to go ahead and go with. So under, oops, let me see here, 249K, and we're going to set this under for 200, and we'll go from there. I got to make sure I have enough zeros. All right, there we go. Okay, and then we'll close this one out. And then this one, Solana Pepe, we're going to check out the channel alert on this one. So we'll set an under and an over. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll cut out, what I saw on the channel, just because there were some images that I'd rather go ahead and just, not have part of the video. So I'll go ahead and I'll cut that out. But for this one, I will still go ahead and set, we'll set a couple of alerts on this. So we're sitting at 122 here, but 128 here. So it'll catch up. So we're going to go ahead and set it at 128. So we're going straight to market cap and under, and we say 128K. So we're going to go ahead and copy that. And for the under, let's go ahead and let's set this one at 100K, for our indicator. And then for the over, let's see, for 128, let's set it at 150, 145. All right, for our indicator. Okay, so that's going to do it for me, in regards to today's video. Thank you guys so much. I know I was moving through pretty quickly, but like I said, I got stuff to do, and just kind of running a little bit late today, in regards to the video. So, but thanks so much for watching. And as always, continue to keep up with the series, we're discovering stuff, all the time throughout the series, which is the great part about, doing this series. Not only am I getting to teach you guys, you're getting to learn, you're getting to go ahead and kind of see how I operate, in terms of, what I'm looking for when I'm looking at tokens, and we're discovering, things together, which is something that I enjoy about doing the series. So, if you're not yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing. That way you can go ahead and be notified when new videos are released on the channel. And, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Crimson's calls as well, because I do make calls, on that Telegram channel alongside the X channel as well. All right, so that's going to do it for today. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks so much for watching.